Good afternoon. My name is Joy Utterback, and I will be your IELTS examiner for today, May 19th, 2018. Can you please tell me your full name?
My full name is Trần Thị Kim Ngân, or you can call me Ngân.
Thank you. And can you tell me where you are from?
I'm from Quận province. It's located next door to my city.
And may I see your identification?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. This is fine. Alright, so now in this first part, I would like to ask you some questions about yourself. So I'd like to talk about your hobbies. Tell me about any hobbies you have.
Well, I'm a big fan of music, and when I have free time, I usually listen to music, or I play piano. One of my hobbies. Yes.
Are there any hobbies that you would like to have in the future?
Well, I love reading. Like, I'm a big fan of reading, and my favorite book is like science fiction books, and I can read it like over and over, from cover to cover.
And do you think hobbies should be relaxing or they should be exciting, and why?
Well, I could say that it depends on their generation. Like, if you come from the old generation, I think hobbies should be relaxing. But if you come from the young generation, it should be like more exciting or, dynamic.
And do you think it's important for people to have hobbies?
Sure, because like hobby helps you relax after working really hard, and also they kind of like make yourself become like more active, like become an active person, not a passive one, and it's really useful when you become older and your brain is still working,
Okay, so now let's talk about shopping. Do you enjoy shopping?
I would call myself a shopaholic. Yeah, and I usually shop for clothes or especially food. And I'm a big like slave to fashion as well. I'm always like catch up with the latest in fashion.
And do you prefer to shop alone or with other people, and why?
I could say that it depends on the item that I want to buy. That if there is a personal items, I'm gonna go by myself. But if it's like something I need recommendation from people, I'm gonna ask them for some advices.
Okay, so now I'd like to move on and ask you some questions about food. What is your favorite food and why?
I'm passionate about like the Japanese cuisines because it's really fresh and healthy, especially like sushi. Again, sesame is a really tasty dish and have good for health as well.
And what kinds of restaurants do you like to eat out at?
When I was a student, I preferred like street food, but now I'm currently like working, so I love to eat at the Paris restaurant, like somewhere you can wine and dine people. Yes.
And what would your perfect meal be?
It should be include like meat, fish, and veggies, so I can like make sure like I have enough nutritious ingredients or nutritious food, like I have like big jars battery after working hard.
Okay, so that concludes part 1. Now let's move on to part 2. So I'm going to give you a topic that I would like you to speak about for 1 to 2 minutes. You will have 1 minute to prepare what you would like to talk about, and you may use the pencil and the paper provided in front of you. So here is the topic that you will be speaking about today. So the topic is to describe a course that you have found useful. As I said, you have 1 minute to prepare, and that 1 minute starts now. Okay, so that concludes the 1 minute preparation time. We're now going to move on to the 1 to 2 minute speaking portion. Don't worry about time, I will stop you when your time is up. Okay, and with that being said, your 1 minute starts, or your 2 minutes starts now.
Okay, so just Okay, I'd like to talk about a course that I joined last year. I participated in the web design courses, and it's about like how to design a website. And I picked that course because I couldn't call it software techies, but I'm kind of like a computer lovers. Like I love exploring things, and I'm passionate about like designing a website. And the hardest part of the job is learning how to do like coding, like writing on the code to make sure that your website is working properly. And my parents paid for the course. It was not expensive at all, but it's helped me. It's helped my future job. You know, I am an English teacher, and I love to design a website for my students to learn how to speak like fluently in English or fix their pronunciation kind of. And the part that I didn't enjoy my course is because I wasn't able to make it like every day in class. So sometimes I need to do some distant learning, and every time I ask my students, and they kind of like busy to answer my questions. But far away from that, I still like I think it's really helpful for me right now. And I can do again if I have time, or maybe a more advanced course.
And are you in touch with anyone from the course now?
Actually, no, because I'm not like really into it after I finish that course. So I don't contact them very often.
And would you like to do a course like this again?
Sure, in the future, but with a more advanced level.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's move on to part 3. We've been talking about a course that you had done that you found useful. And now I would like to ask you some questions related to this. Okay, let's first consider homework. Do you think it's important that children are given homework?
Well, personally, I would say that it depends on the children's age. Like in a very young age, like toddlers or the beginners, like 1 to 2 years old or whatever. And I don't think it's a good idea to give them homework. But with the older one, like 5 to 6 or more than that, they should have homework because they need to do a review on what they did in class.
How much homework do you think they should be given?
Well, in my opinion, their homework should be more like obsessive. Like that means you don't need to give them too much, but it's just like a simple one to remind them what they actually learned in class. Yeah.
And do you think parents should help their children with their homework, or should it be done alone?
Many people think that it should be done by parents to do some review for the children, like what they did in the class. But I think that's not parent job, that's teacher jobs. And parents can have to asking them some few questions that they already learned. But with the teachers, I think that's mainly the teacher job.
Now we'll discuss the relationship between education and work. How important is it to have a university education to get a job in your country?
Well, everybody are obsessed about having a university degree right now. Like people gonna ask you what do you study. But I think it depends on your working skills. Like you don't need to have actual university degree to get a job. I think because some job that just need a university degree, like builders or home cleaners or something. Like you don't need a university to do that. But if you expect to have a decent job or well-paid one, university should be required.
And does having a degree from another country enhance employment opportunities in your country?
Well, it depends on the majors that you are taking. Like if you're working in a developed country, if you are studying in a developed country and the majors that you study helps your own country, I think it's better if you have a degree in another country and go back to your country to have your country.
And what impacts do students who have studied abroad have on their country of origin when they come home?
Well, there a big impact on the student who study abroad when they come back to the country, because they observe the cultural differences and they see the pros and cons between two cultures, and they can see they can make a difference. They can get they get better ones, I think, applied to their own country in the futures, and I think it should be done by everyone who study abroad.
Thank you. That is the end of the speaking test for IELTS. Good luck.
Thank you.